In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of Holy Spirit, one God. Amen. Someone is asking about your home, but this is no ordinary inquiry. Chosen one, listen closely. What's unfolding in your life right now isn't random. It's divine. Your name has been whispered in hidden places, searched in silence, and circled in secret rooms. Last night in the courts of heaven, your name did not pass unnoticed. But this is not a threat. This is a signal from heaven. The Lord has heard the whispers. The throne room has recorded every prayer, every tear. Angels have traced the very path of your pain, and yet no harm has touched your dwelling. Why? Because the Most High has drawn a line around your home. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Psalm 34:7. Your house isn't just made of bricks and wood. It's sacred ground. Your walls hold the echo of midnight prayers. Your doorposts are marked by the oil of your faith, and because of that, heaven has assigned angels to your threshold. What once looked like spiritual warfare is now spiritual delivery. In the unseen blueprints of heaven, your street has been highlighted in light, marked as a place where God himself intends to move. Yes, someone is asking about your address, but heaven replies, blessings are en route. A courier of miracles is already on the move. What you thought was silence was divine preparation. What felt like delay was God rooting the break through directly to your door. In heaven, the question is no longer where do you live, but where do blessings belong? And the answer has already been written. They belong at your door. The Archangel Michael has been dispatched, and he is standing near your home declaring, no darkness shall pass, only light, only favor, only answered prayers. He stands as a warrior at your gate, not with a message of fear, with a scroll of promise that carries your name in holy fire. Now you may wonder, why are you hearing this before tomorrow? Because by morning a shift will begin, a message, a knock, a turning point, but it is only for those who stay, only those who believe. Tomorrow is not just another day. It is a doorway. Tonight is your preparation, and this word is heaven's way of placing your hand on the right key. So do not walk away. Don't leave this moment unfinished. Heaven has sealed your name in divine fire. What was meant to disturb you is now confirming that God's hand is all over your life. Your address has become a testimony, proof that grace knows exactly where you live. Chosen one, get ready. The silence is breaking. The stillness is shifting. And the miracle you've been waiting for is already headed your way. Your home is not just a shelter from the world. It is a gate of miracles, a chosen ground where heaven intends to land. If this word speaks to your spirit, type Amen in the comments below. Let that be your bold declaration. Lord, I'm ready, ready to receive, ready to believe, ready to step into what's been written over my life since the beginning of time. And stay with me until the end, because we'll close with a prayer that could mark the beginning of the greatest chapter you've ever lived. Someone is asking about your address, but not in the way you think. Listen closely, chosen one. This is not about a street name or a postal code. Heaven has redefined the question. It's not where do you live, it's where do blessings belong, and the answer has already been written. They belong at your door. Something sacred is unfolding, and your spirit can feel it even before your mind can explain it. Archangel Michael has spoken your name in the court of heaven, your story, your pain. Your prayers have been lifted like a scroll sealed with divine fire. And he declared before the throne, this one has waited long enough, this one is ready, this house must carry the weight of joy again. That is why this message found you before tomorrow. It is not an accident, it is a divine appointment. Don't scroll, don't turn away, because in the next few hours, something is shifting in the unseen. Something that carries your name. Heaven is setting things in motion. Look around your home, not with your eyes, but with your memory. Every corner, every hallway, every closed door holds a story. The tears that soaked your pillow when no one saw. The laughter that once filled the room, then vanished too soon. The prayers whispered through clenched teeth when you didn't know if you could hold on. Heaven saw it all. And heaven said, it's time. This house is not forgotten. It is not forsaken. It is not broken, beyond repair. Isaiah 32:18 says, "My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest." That is what is being restored to you, divine peace, not the fragile kind the world offers, but the deep, unwavering peace that only comes from the Most High. You may not have seen movement, but that doesn't mean heaven has been still. In the silence, prayers have been echoing like thunder beneath the veil of the natural. And now, the angels have been dispatched. Right now, Archangel Michael is walking the streets that lead to your door, not to warn, not to judge, but to prepare. He is declaring, this location has been highlighted in heaven's blueprint. This home is sacred. This is where heaven's delivery belongs. Yes, someone is asking about your address, but they don't realize it's already been marked with light, covered in mercy, guarded by glory. And you, why are you here at this exact moment? Why is your heart leaning in, your ears alert, your soul awake? Because tomorrow is not just another day. It is a doorway, and if you walk through it with faith, what was once ordinary will become extraordinary, not by your strength, but by the will of the Most High. But listen carefully. Only those who remain connected will see it unfold. Those who stay rooted, grounded, expectant. Your story is about to turn a page, and heaven is holding the pen. Let this sink deep. When heaven writes your name, no force on earth can erase it. No slander, no betrayal, no delay, no darkness. What God has authored over your life will stand. Your address is not just a location. It's a testimony, a monument to grace, a sacred space where angels are stationed and miracles are assigned. You may feel forgotten by people, overlooked by systems, misunderstood by the world, but you have never been invisible to God. Tonight, as you prepare your heart, hear this clearly. The Most High is visiting your home, not as a distant idea, not as a vague presence, but as the deliverer, the healer, the provider. Psalm 84:11 says, "For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those whose walk is blameless." The good thing is coming, it's already on the way, but you must not block the blessing. So listen, if there is anyone in your life you've been avoiding, anyone you've kept out of reach because of bitterness or brokenness, now is the time to forgive. Call them, bless them, release them, because peace in your relationships opens the gates for peace in your home. Let nothing obstruct what God has set in motion. Let no grudge delay what angels are carrying to your doorstep. Hold on, chosen one. Stay with me because the story is still unfolding. This moment is part of something bigger. Someone asking about your address is not a threat. It's a confirmation. When your name is spoken in hidden places, heaven begins to move. Even now, Archangel Michael is circling your house. He is clearing shadows, breaking curses, dismantling traps, and he is marking your walls with divine light. Exodus 12:13 reminds us of a holy truth. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. No destructive plague will touch you. That same divine marking is on your home, not in the form of paint or ink, but in spiritual fire. When others come looking for a place to harm, they will not find an open door. They will find a flame that cannot be touched, a glow that cannot be stolen, a home protected by the very hand of the Almighty. Do not be distracted by what you see. Trust in what is being written behind the veil, because tomorrow carries a seal, and that seal is being broken right now by the key of your faith. Think of the keys you hold every day. They open natural doors, but the greater key, faith, opens the doors of heaven. And tonight, as you hold that key in your heart, something is unlocking that no man can shut. Before the breakthrough reaches your door, heaven will send signs ahead of it. First, a sudden peace will settle over your home, not empty, but full and warm. Second, you may feel a soft, unexplainable warmth brush your shoulder as if light is touching you. Third, hope will rise inside you without reason. These are not emotions, these are signals, whispers from the angels, preparing your atmosphere for the miracle. Stay, be still, let this truth settle deep in your spirit. This address, your address, has been chosen for divine visitation. And when the signal arrives, when the moment arrives, do not hesitate to open, because what crosses this threshold will not be ordinary. It will be the answer you prayed for. the joy you forgot you had room for, the restoration you didn't know was still possible. Your home will carry the fragrance of blessing again, and your name will be remembered in heaven. Not because of what you've done, but because of who the Lord has declared you to be. You are not overlooked, you are not left out, you are not waiting in vain. You are the chosen one, and heaven is already at your door. There's something moving in the unseen, and it has your name on it, chosen one. Before tomorrow arrives, there will be a sign, not a coincidence, not a lucky break, but a divine confirmation written in the language of heaven. It might show up in a dream. It might be a message that pierces your spirit like lightning. It may arrive in a single sentence that interrupts your routine and makes you stop and feel it, but when it comes, do not ignore it. This will not be just another day. This will be a turning point. Heaven has recorded your name, your house, your atmosphere, your tears, and now a shift is on the way. Not the kind people expect, but the kind no one can deny. There's no need to chase a sign when the sign is already chasing you. And here's the revelation. Your home is not just a place where you sleep. It is a gate, a portal, a chosen ground for miracles. When faith speaks, heaven answers, and now the call is simple. Speak it, declare it, say it aloud in your spirit. My house is a gate of miracles, not because the walls are perfect, not because the address is grand, but because the Most High has chosen it as the landing site for something sacred. Now listen closely. This is not poetic imagery. This is divine intelligence. Someone asking about your address isn't random. It's not confusion. It's confirmation. In the Spirit, your name has been lifted like a sealed scroll, and Archangel Michael has marked it with fire. That fire does not destroy, it protects, it announces. It seals what no man can tamper with. Your house has been seen. Not just the furniture, not just the photos on the wall, but the midnight prayers you whispered when you thought no one heard. The broken moments when your knees hit the floor and your voice couldn't even form words. Every sound, every silence recorded in heaven, and heaven has responded. This house must carry joy again. There are places people overlook, lives that get passed by. But your name has been noticed in the Spirit, and the angels have been dispatched not with warnings but with gifts, divine peace, sacred clarity, supernatural provision. Isaiah 45:2 says, I will go before you and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of bronze and cut the bars of iron. That is the promise covering your threshold now. Where there were walls of delay, heaven is opening passageways. Where there were locks of doubt, heaven is turning keys in silence. Don't scroll, don't drift away. This isn't background noise. This is spiritual positioning. Your home has been mapped in invisible ink, seen only by angels, traced only by grace. And now Archangel Michael stands with the scroll in his hand, lifting your household before the throne, saying, Here is where the blessing belongs. This is the dwelling where light must enter. This address is not common. It is chosen, and what's coming, it's not late. It's not lost. It's not misrooted. It is on time, in motion, and sealed with your name. You may have felt invisible, passed over, like life kept knocking on someone else's door. But the delivery that's on its way to you doesn't require applause or attention. It only requires faith, because faith is the signature that heaven looks for when releasing the extraordinary. Let the chosen one whisper again in faith. The house is ready, the life aligned, the spirit open. It might not come with a trumpet. It may not look like a miracle at first glance. It might arrive as a message, a phone call, a shift in atmosphere, but it will carry the scent of divine timing. You're not hearing this by accident. This message was crafted in heaven's calendar and delivered into this moment so that your spirit would awaken before the sun rises tomorrow. Not to scare you, to prepare you. Psalm 121:8 says, The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. And that's exactly what's happening at your doorstep. You're coming and going, you're waking and sleeping, you're waiting and weeping. Heaven has monitored it all, and now the Lord has stationed a guard, not just any guard, a warrior With a flaming sword, heaven isn't asking your location, it's declaring your assignment. He is standing to declare, this is the house where favor must land. This is the dwelling where abundance is due. This is the place where no curse can stick and no darkness can dwell. Every footstep in that house, every memory etched into the corners of your walls, every time you fell apart and kept going anyway, none of it was wasted. The Lord stored it all, and now the measure being poured back is double. Some may ask, what's so special about that house? They might not understand why you're still standing, why you still have hope, why peace hasn't left, why joy keeps returning like morning light. But heaven has already answered, because it is chosen, because it is protected, because it is blessed. Right now, as this message meets your ears, something sacred is taking place. Your spirit is being prepared to receive what others cannot see. Your home is being surrounded by what others cannot feel. And your future is being written in lines that no man can erase. Even the timing is prophetic. Before the next sunrise, you may sense it. You may feel the wind shift. You may dream something vivid. You may receive a word that aligns perfectly with what your spirit has been carrying in silence. And when it comes, you will know, heaven found me. Not because you strived, not because you shouted loud enough, but because the Lord never forgot. This moment, this message is not for the masses. It is personal, specific, a prophetic reminder that someone asking about your address is not a threat. It is a sign that heaven is about to deliver. No map can guide it, no thief can intercept it, no delay can block it. What was written for you long ago is now closer than it has ever been. So pause, breathe, listen. You are not watching this by accident. This is not just content. This is confirmation. Chosen one, your address is known in heaven. Your house is ready, and the blessing has already been dispatched. Imagine this. An angel stands at your gate, not with a sword raised in battle, but with a document from heaven glowing with eternal promise. This is not a scene from a dream. This is a glimpse into what is unfolding in the spirit realm right now. And on that scroll, your name sealed in light, written by divine hand, within that decree lies the fulfillment of your deepest petitions. The very thing you've prayed for when no one was listening, the breakthrough you've waited for in silence, the door you almost stopped believing would ever open. Archangel Michael has been appointed to guard it. Not because it's fragile, but because it's holy. What that scroll carries must not be delayed, and it must not be intercepted. The miracle it contains is assigned to one address only, and that address is yours. Chosen one, hear this. Tomorrow is the threshold. Tonight is the preparation. You're not watching this by chance. You're here because heaven is trying to ready your heart for what's coming. And what's coming won't knock like a delivery from earth. It won't look like an envelope. It may not even arrive through your front door, but it will arrive. It might show up in a call that catches you off guard, a message that shifts your thinking, an open door where only walls existed yesterday. Because heaven's packages don't look like the world's. They arrive wrapped in perfect timing, clothed in surprise and dripping with joy. God is not late. His deliveries aren't random. When he moves, everything aligns. And now your house, yes, your house, is being prepared to host something divine. The same walls that once held silence like a weight will echo again with laughter. The same rooms that carried heaviness will glow again with peace. This isn't a metaphor. This is what happens when God answers prayers in forms you can finally recognize, and when it arrives, your spirit will know. This is the delivery heaven promised, and just as heaven delivers, heaven also defends. Archangel Michael is not just carrying the scroll. He's standing guard. He's already speaking over your threshold. No shadow shall block this. No delay shall stop this. No thief shall touch what belongs to this home. This message didn't come early by accident. It came now before the morning breaks, so your heart can align, so your posture can shift from waiting to receiving, so faith can take root where fear once grew. Let this be their silent confession. The delivery is on its way, the address is chosen, the miracle already theirs. Let their words prepare the landing strip. Let their faith be the table where heaven lays the gift. And when tomorrow comes, begin it with silence, not as an empty space, but as a sacred chamber, a moment without noise, without notifications, just 5 minutes of stillness. In that silence, the Spirit whispers. In that space, instruction flows, because the miracle is not just what's being sent, it's what your spirit is being tuned to receive. There is a reason this moment feels different. There's a reason your heart is being stirred. Because what's coming isn't common. Hebrews 1:14 says, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" Yes, and one of those messengers is already near your home, assigned, alert, active. But here's what few understand. Before heaven reveals the miracle, it sends signs, and your spirit, if awakened, will sense them before the breakthrough even arrives. Stay with this moment, because here is how you will know. First, there will be an unexpected peace. It may come over your house like a gentle hush. It won't feel empty, it will feel full. That is the whisper of angels, that is spiritual preparation. Peace is not passive. It is the escort of promise. Second, you may feel warmth, a sensation that touches your shoulder or lingers near you without explanation. That is presence, that is protection. Archangel Michael is standing near, guarding what heaven is about to release. Third, you'll notice hope begin to rise, unprovoked, unexplained, a surge of expectation where there was only anxiety. That's the joy of the Lord going before the miracle, so you recognize the blessing when it arrives. None of this is imagination, it is orchestration, because your home is not just an address on a map. It is an altar where God's timing meets your obedience, a scheduled intersection between heaven's timing and your obedience. So when the delivery comes, whether by message, call, letter, or knock, you will know this is it. Heaven has arrived, but don't walk away from this word. Let no heart become distracted in this holy moment. Because the moment you turn your heart away, you risk missing the final stage of preparation. What if the delivery comes and you aren't ready? What if the answer knocks and you don't recognize it? That is why this word came to you tonight, to prepare, to align, to stir something holy in your spirit. So your heart says, "Yes, Lord, my home is open, my life is ready." Just as the Israelites marked their doors with blood in Exodus 12 to signal their covering, your home is being marked in the Spirit, not with blood, but with the fire of God's covenant, not as a sign of escape, but of arrival. This next part is not ordinary. This is where heaven unveils the deeper reason behind all of this. See, someone asking about your address was never about location. It was about identification. It was heaven's way of saying, this is where it belongs. This is the place we've been preparing. This is the moment we've been waiting to release. Your home has been chosen not because it's perfect, but because it's available. And availability is what God looks for when He wants to do the impossible. Just like the widow in 2 Kings 4, who only had empty jars and a little oil, it wasn't about what she lacked. It was about what she opened. The oil flowed only into vessels that were ready. Your home is a vessel. Your heart is a jar, and heaven is pouring. The blessing won't be random. It will be recognizable. You'll feel it before you see it. You'll sense it before you touch it. And when it arrives, there will be no doubt in your spirit, heaven found me. Others may not understand it. They may question, why this house? Why this person? Why now? But heaven has already answered, because it is chosen, because it is ready, because it is time. So let your words align with your faith. Let your silence become your sanctuary. Let your address become the altar where the miraculous lands. Because when heaven's seal is broken over your promise, when the flame is released, when the package is placed at your door, there will be no denying that this wasn't just a message. It was a divine instruction, a holy confirmation, a whisper from heaven wrapped in fire. And now, the final thing to know, heaven's response is approaching the threshold of your timeline. Hold your peace, hold your faith, because what belongs to your house is already on its way. Chosen one, a divine messenger standing at the threshold of your dwelling, holding a scroll sealed not with wax, but with the fire of heaven. That scroll bears your name, and within it lies the breakthrough you almost gave up on, the answer to the midnight prayer, the restoration you didn't even know how to ask for. It is no longer waiting in the heavens. It is moving toward you now, and Archangel Michael is guarding it with holy authority, declaring to every force of resistance, "This package will arrive. It belongs to this house, and no power will delay it. Now hear this, the sign you're looking for will not confuse you. It won't leave you guessing. It will comfort you. It will confirm everything you've carried in your spirit but didn't have the words to say, and when it arrives through a word, a call, a shift, you will know with certainty this message wasn't just encouragement. It was prophecy, so declare it now. I will not miss the signs. I will not miss the blessing. My home is ready. Stay with this moment because everything we have spoken about the feeling, the signs, the delivery have been leading to this. What happens when the blessing crosses the threshold? When heaven visits a home, nothing looks the same again. The very air changes. The heaviness you learn to live with lifts. The silence turns into stillness, and the stillness into peace. Where confusion once clouded your thoughts, clarity begins to break like dawn. This is not emotion, this is encounter. Chosen one, you may hear laughter where there was once only sighs. Doors that stayed locked for years may suddenly swing open without warning. A calm will settle that doesn't explain itself, but heals everything it touches. This is the fingerprint of heaven, a residue that doesn't fade, and once it arrives it doesn't leave empty. It multiplies, it overflows, it transforms. Archangel Michael has not left his post. The guardian of light now presides over your dwelling, ensuring nothing unclean enters, and he is declaring over your home, this house will no longer carry sorrow. This address will no longer be overlooked. This place is now a divine channel for overflow. This is why you're hearing this before tomorrow, because the change isn't coming. It's already begun. Heaven is asking you not just expect it, but to prepare for it, to welcome it. Do not doubt. Your home is becoming holy ground. Every room is about to tell a new story. Every wall will carry a new echo. And when others see you, they may not understand what happened, but you will know. Heaven visited my house, but the blessing does not stop with you. Your home becomes a distribution center of heaven, a place where miracles overflow and multiply. What enters your house will pour into your family, your friends, and even those silently watching your journey. And the more it flows out, the more heaven pours back in. This is the divine cycle of multiplication, so speak it again with faith. My home is filled with blessings, my life is overflowing, my tomorrow is shining. Don't move just yet because the story is about to go deeper. You've heard what happens when the blessing enters, but now, what happens when heaven decides to stay? It touches everything. First, your health. The same body that carried fatigue will begin to feel strength rise again. A renewal from the inside out. Not hype, not adrenaline, but a flow of peace that works like a medicine no prescription can provide. Psalm 107:20 says, He sent out His word and healed them, and now that word is settling in your home. Second, your relationships. Where there were fractures, there will be restoration. Misunderstandings that held for years will dissolve like fog under sunlight. Those meant for your journey will find their way back to you, and those who were never meant to stay will quietly release their hold. Archangel Michael will guard your circle so that only truth, love, and divine alignment remain under your roof. Take something in your house, a key, a candle, a journal, and pray over it. Let it become a living symbol. Let it remind you daily, my home is protected, my promise is alive. Third, your provision. Where there was lack, there will now be flow. Where you saw closed doors, new gates will open. The blessing does not come empty. It comes carrying resources, favor, and provision. And because it abides, not visits, your hands will no longer stay empty. Deuteronomy 28:12 promises, the Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of His bounty, to bless all the work of your hands. Fourth, your heart, the ache of loneliness, the questions screamed into the night. They'll be replaced with a joy that feels unfamiliar at first, but that joy will be the mark that heaven never forgot you. It will be the sound of something sacred taking root inside you again. This joy won't come and go with moods or moments. It will remain. This is why someone asked about your address. It was never about location. It was always about designation. Heaven needed you to know your life is marked not just for visitation but for habitation. Not just for moments of breakthrough but for a lifestyle of overflow. So when others wonder what changed, you will answer, heaven stayed. And now Archangel Michael makes his final declaration. This residence carries the seal of spiritual covenant. This health is restored. These relationships are covered. This provision is multiplied. This heart is healed, and this future is blazing with light. Chosen one, the transformation is already underway. Say it aloud. My blessing is not leaving. My life is transformed. Your tomorrow isn't just coming, it's glowing. There is a divine brilliance rising over the horizon of your life, and heaven has already written the next chapter with glory in every line. Say it again, and say it with boldness. My tomorrow is shining brighter than ever. This isn't just affirmation. This is alignment, because your words are keys. When you speak them with faith, you give heaven permission to finish what it started. Hold on now. Stay locked in, because what you are about to hear isn't just about you. This is the moment where your personal story becomes a supernatural signal to others. When God inhabits a home, it doesn't do so quietly. It announces itself through evidence. Your breakthrough is about to become someone else's hope. See, someone asking about your address was never just about curiosity. That was destiny in motion. Heaven has decided that your home will not only receive miracles, but display them. That your story will not only be restored, but used. Imagine it. Neighbors who once passed by in silence will begin to feel joy radiating through your windows. Friends who once assumed nothing would change will pause in wonder when everything begins turning in your favor. Even strangers standing near you will feel something different, and it won't be chance. It will be heaven's mark resting visibly on your life. Because when God touches a house, the change is tangible. It doesn't whisper. It testifies. This is how your story becomes an answer to someone else's prayer. When others witness your healing, they will believe restoration is still possible. When they see fractured relationships in your life healed, they'll believe love can return. When your financial situation turns, they'll see that provision isn't just a promise, it's a reality. And when they hear laughter where there used to be grief, they'll know that heaven did not abandon them either. Stay with me. Archangel Michael is not just stationed to protect what God is giving you. He is assigned to amplify it. He is declaring even now, this house shall be a beacon. This story shall be a testimony. This life shall point others back to heaven. That's why your address was marked in the first place, because what God is doing for you isn't just about you. He knew your miracle would speak louder than your words ever could. And here's the beauty of heaven. It doesn't stop at breakthrough, it multiplies it. Your blessing is not meant to sit still. It overflows, it expands. It reaches family members who never asked, friends who never expected, and even those who secretly hoped for a sign. Your life becomes a doorway for others. A living witness that if heaven could move in your home, it can move in theirs too. Now declare this with boldness. My testimony is a signal. My life is a beacon. My story will inspire others. Speak it, believe it. Let it settle deep in your spirit. Let no heart turn away just yet, for the mystery is still unfolding. This moment was never just about your miracle. It was about the multiplication that would follow. Someone asking about your address wasn't just tracking your blessing. They were identifying the origin point for overflow. Picture your home as a fountain. At first, the waters rise just for you to fill your heart with peace, your family with joy, your hands with provision. But fountains are not made to hold, they're made to pour. And as your home begins to overflow, others will drink from the grace on your life. Strangers will find refreshment. Friends will experience healing. And here is the miracle. The more it flows out, the more heaven pours back in. Because blessings are like seeds. When they're shared in love, kindness, and testimony, they don't shrink. They multiply. Heaven sees what you're doing. Every time you let your miracle be a light to someone else, heaven whispers, "They are faithful with little, now watch me give them more." Luke 6:38 says, Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. That's the divine cycle. That's the kingdom economy. The messenger of fire proclaims once more from heaven's post. This home is a distribution center of heaven. What flows from here will return multiplied. What shines from here will spark others. What is given from here will never run dry. Your testimony cannot stay hidden. It's carrying the DNA of multiplication. This is heaven's design. You receive, you overflow. Heaven multiplies and the cycle repeats. Your healing, it will restore others. And heaven will strengthen you again. Your joy, it will awaken others. And heaven will fill your days with even deeper laughter. Your provision, it will uplift others. And heaven will see that your resources never run dry. Declare it with confidence. My blessing multiplies. My home overflows. My miracle returns greater. This is not just spiritual language. This is strategic preparation. Because before tomorrow arrives, heaven is waiting on your agreement. You have been chosen to carry not just testimony but transformation. You are not only receiving the miracle, you are becoming the miracle, and now chosen one. As this divine word draws to a close, lean in once more, for this is not merely the conclusion of a message, but the birthing of a movement in your life. You've heard the signs. You've received the confirmation. You've been reminded again and again that your home is marked, your name is known, and your story is being rewritten by the hand of heaven. But what comes next requires something deeper. Participation. Not just belief, but response. For heaven is not just visiting to touch you. Heaven is settling in to change you. Let this truth settle in your soul. The miracles assigned to your address are not just answers. They are invitations. Invitations to shift how you live, how you see, how you love, and how you give. So what can you do today in the middle of your ordinary life to remain aligned with the extraordinary plan unfolding over you? First, make your atmosphere reflect your agreement. Light a candle each morning, not out of ritual, but as a daily signal to heaven and to your own soul. This house is ready. Let the flame remind you that the fire of God is welcome here, that light belongs in your home. Create moments of sacred quiet in your daily rhythm. Before you check your phone, check your posture. Sit, breathe, speak gratitude out loud. Let heaven hear your readiness. Second, walk through your house each week and pray a blessing over every doorway and wall. You don't need eloquent words, just honest ones. Thank God for space. Speak peace over the rooms. Declare purpose over the corners. Where children sleep, pray for protection. Where decisions are made, pray for wisdom. Where meals are shared, pray for joy and connection. Invite God not just into the rooms but into the routines. Third, serve someone in secret. Bless someone without needing them to know. Whether it's leaving encouragement on a neighbor's doorstep, paying for someone's groceries, or praying for someone in traffic, practice being a vessel of overflow. As heaven pours into you, let it pour through you. Every small act becomes a signal in spirit. This one is ready for more. Fourth, write down the blessings. Keep a physical record, a journal, a wall calendar, a note card box of every answered prayer, every open door, every moment that made you pause and say, that had to be God. Revisit them often. Let your history with God become your fuel when the days feel long or the wait stretches further than expected. And fifth, speak well of your future. Stop rehearsing defeat. Don't echo disappointment. Speak what heaven says about you even when you don't feel it yet. Look at your reflection and say, this house is blessed. This life is chosen. This journey is guided. Because words create pathways and your future is listening. This is more than instruction. It's invitation. The Spirit is not looking for performance, but for partnership. Heaven doesn't require perfection. It responds to posture. A heart willing, a life open, a home surrendered. So here we are standing together on the threshold of what's next. And the final word is not one of pressure, but of peace. You don't need to make the miracle happen. You only need to make room for it. And as you do through daily silence, simple faith, acts of service, and declarations of trust, you will begin to see the ripple of heaven's presence extend beyond your front door. You will become what this entire message has been pointing to. not just a receiver of divine movement, but a vessel of divine multiplication. The kind of life that not only experiences miracles, but becomes one chosen one. The package has your name, the scroll is sealed with fire, the messenger stands at your door. Now step forward, not just in hope, but in holy expectation. Heaven is not finished, it is just beginning. Before we end today's divine message, let us pause and step into a sacred moment